Tanti auguri tutti. It's Boxing Day in Colletta, and we had a little bit of a white Christmas, not that we could see it in the clouds yesterday. So I thought I'd do a nice update of the village and our terraces as normal for everybody to see what it's like here, stuck in lockdown in Colletta. That little V of the valley down there is where the Mediterranean is. You can't quite see it from here, but if you walk up top of that hill there, which I'm about to this afternoon, you can actually see the Med. It's about 15 kilometres away. So let's have a little walk through the village, which is basically completely deserted because of COVID lockdown. And there's a couple of rickety stairs down here. Oops. This is going to test the contrast of the poor camera. Oops. So the rest of the village is down through here. That's how you go and get to the pool and stuff. Would be off down that way. Up through here. Oh, I'll just show the tunnel actually. It's kind of cool through here. It's all dark. Oh, lights are on. Good. And you can see that floor there is a domed arch roof of the room below. And there's a little architecture exhibition going on in here of Colletta, who oversaw the refurbishment of the village. And up those stairs is the first apartment that we rented when we first came to Colletta, 2004 or something. And here's a very sad scene, the Piazzetta. This is normally full of life. Here's the bar, currently closed with COVID restrictions. There's the terraces where you'd eat some lovely meals, looking out at that wonderful view. There's a resonate up there. We found, if you look at the empty windows on the very left of that village, that building is in really quite good nick. So if you want to come be neighbours, that would be a great project to take and renovate. Very tempting. Not that we need any more property here in Italy. Anyway, off down, let's have a quick look at our garden of our apartment. Dusting a bit of snow up there, not as much as on Monte Alpi. Okay, this is where we are. We like to stay on the sunny side, although because it's just 4 days after the shortest day, the sun goes behind that mountain, pops out in that little V, and then goes behind that mountain for the rest of the day at the moment. So here's our garden of our apartments in there. And the works we've done in 2020 is we redid all the paving stones in here. Nothing much else was done down here. This is our caper plant, which is amazing to see it in winter. It's just like this gnarled root. But in spring, every spring it grows out to this huge ball, like out to here type thing, of flowers and capers and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so we're walking off down through the service road to the Oliveto, the olive grove, to see other updates and things that have happened in 2020. The state of the terraces has to be done. So there's new gravel on the service road, but unfortunately it's all washing away again, ends up down the terraces. So here you can see one of the trees that blew over in the windstorm about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, that we put back in the ground. There's another one that fell over. We're going to go look at all the damage that happened at the bottom. So this is the path I'm slowly trying to make better to make it easier access. We can go down those little stairs there, but this is actually the path of the community path. So I built this handrail here this year to stop people falling off onto our water tank, which with all the rain recently is nice and full, which is good. Oh, there's the Wi-Fi antenna for the terraces, because you've got to have Wi-Fi. So you can see the pizza oven roof down through there, and that Wi-Fi picks up our Wi-Fi from our apartment, hits it down there and extends it off. And that's a little dam I built that fills up that box, which runs a tube down through there, which fills up the water tank. This is the path I rebuilt a couple of years ago here, which connects onto the wonderful original Sentiero mule path down here. So from here on, this is our terraces through here, and look at this pavement, all these rounded stones, rounded by centuries of foot usage. You pick up each of these, they're like a cobblestone about 20-30 centimetres deep, but the tops have been rounded. And this path just goes on and on and on. This is all covered by soil and weeds and things until this year a rainstorm uncovered a little bit of it, so I did the rest of the digging out. And so you can see here, this is okay. Actually, I'll go to the bottom. We're halfway through our olive prune, so the terraces are very messy. That's a whole bunch of olive trees that fell over in the big windstorm and been cut up there. Here's the pizza oven. It's getting a little bit of use in winter, but not a lot. The weather's been a bit mixed. The ground's all dug up here. It's the chingali, the wild boars. Sage, rosmarino, the fire pit down here, and more piles of olive cuttings as we're doing our pruning. Big pile there. So let's get on down to the bottom terrace where there's been a lot of developments. Okay. Okay, I'll pop up here first before going down the bottom, so I'll make it a one-way trip. These stairs I rebuilt this year. I mean, it's been a project for quite some time. I've actually put the stairs on them, as up here. This is the edge of our land, but I'm clearing off into there, which is condominium land, because these are all good olive trees in there. Need to get rid of a few weed trees. Let's have a quick look at our veggie patch. Lots of olives on the ground here. Open the gate. So these guys are starting to be opened out to get light through the middle of them. See? Olive tree, light, olive tree. You want a nice big open patch in the middle where you can see sky. There we go. So I've got to collect all this stuff up and burn it. And this is our poor little veggie patch. Not much happening in winter. A couple of peas coming up here. There's a big pea. Parsley. Apparently leeks are just coming out of there. Don't think they'll be ready in time for us to go home in Marchish. This is where our tomatoes were. They're all gone. More parsley. Oh, we've got some lettuce, salad greens coming up here. If it gets cold, I might put a little plastic dome over the top of that. There's our little solar panel, which is doing a great job. Giving us lots of power, charging all my battery tools and lights. These are my favourite stairs that I built this year. There's another collapse that turned into a useful set of stairs. There's the pizza oven, chainsaw. The cupboard that was finally finished. You can't really see with the contrast. Alright, let's go look at the lower terrace and call it quits. So the lower terrace, we'd never really cleared it properly from the wilderness that had consumed these terraces. It was kind of there as a defensive barrier, so we could at least get there and maintain the walls. But that's a new apricot tree. We cleared all this area this year and built that little retainer and planted the apricot tree. But events have conspired to make us do a better clean-up of it. So also built these stairs this year to connect all our terraces together. So this terrace here was kind of like completely overgrown, but that tree there used to be in that hole there, and during a windstorm 2 months ago, the whole tree fell down onto the terrace below, which is the terrace of my neighbour. And you can see his little, that's his hen house over there. And his terraces go off in that direction. So seeing I had 4 trees fall down onto his terraces. I've done a bit of a clean on his terraces down there, and you see burning off and stuff to recover them. There's a tree there that hasn't been brought back up yet. You can see the whole chunk of ground fell down there, and that's the chunk of ground with that tree there. But anyway, as a result, it's meant that we've cleaned up this lower terrace, so eventually it'll become productive ground. So our land goes off another 50 metres that direction, which I haven't cleaned. You can see that olive there completely covered in ivy, going up really tall. This stringy one here, I've started cleaning him off. That's a bit of his top that's fallen down. I'll have to clean off. This old man here, oh, he's a wonderful old tree, but unless we do something about him, he's going to pull the terrace wall down. So we're probably going to cut the most of that big old trunk that's sticking out off, and then hope a new trunk will grow out of his root ball straight up. Probably leave that little one there for a while to give him some energy until he puts up a new trunk. And then so this one here was like, I don't know, 10 metres tall. It was like way up in the air. Had lots of olives on him this year. So but we've basically done a drastic prune down to this splayed out nothing. Good view of the village behind, and the church steeple of our community centre, Varava, up the top there. And then this was a little open patch here, and you can see the terraces are actually collapsing here. So I've just done like a defensive bunch of stones and to stop erosion. But the main defence will be these 2 new olives that I've planted here, that their root balls are very good at holding terraces up. This was an enormous weed tree that just filled the whole terrace, so that's been cut off and burnt down. And yeah, that's the status of the terraces and the village. Another nice view up there of the village and the church of Aravo. Oh, and actually you can just see the pine trees on the left of the V over there, a couple of houses. That's a little bit of Aravo, which is the furthest fazione of our community. So it stretches from those pine trees on the ridge over there up to Varavo, Arezane, which you saw, Colletta, and then down the valley floor we have a string of places. The cool thing is I can almost see from our terraces now, it's almost clean terraces all the way, okay, not very clean terraces, but not completely overgrown terraces, down to the valley floor. So about 3 terraces down there, they open up again, and they're actually, you can see a bit of crops in the ground down there. They're actually being used and things like that. So hopefully soon we'll connect all the way through and have a much cleaner environment all the way through. Alright guys, best wishes for the new year. Can't be like as bad as 2020. Although being stuck in Colletta, there was worse things to have happened. And I hope to see more of you as we get out of here, hopefully in February, March, maybe April. We'll see. Ciao.